We live in a time where it's easier than ever to create videos, music, and games. But things still go missing. Shows that aired on TV, games that people played, or songs that were released, gone. Not because of some mystery, but because of how media works. In this video, we'll look at why media gets lost, how storage actually works, and what people are doing to save it. Let's break it down step by step. Lost media is anything that used to be available to the public but now isn't, as you guessed. This includes things like TV shows, movies, websites, games, or recordings that can't be found anymore. Sometimes we know they existed, people remember watching or using them, but we can't find a copy now. Other times we only have proof through ads, photos, or written records. Either way, the actual content is gone. Lost media isn't always old. It can happen even with digital files or things uploaded to the internet. Just because something was once online doesn't mean it's still there. Websites go down, accounts get deleted, platforms change or shut down. The main point is media doesn't last by default. If no one saves it, it's easy for things to disappear, even if they were once popular. When we think about storage, we often assume it's just there, working silently in the background. But the truth is, all storage is temporary, just in different ways. With physical media like VHS tapes, floppy disks, or film reels, the materials wear out. Tapes stretch, film becomes brittle, even plastic can crack. These problems are easy to see: a damaged tape doesn't play, or a disc won't spin. What you might not notice is that even when it looks fine, the data inside can already be fading. Digital storage seems cleaner, but it has its own weak spots. Files can become unreadable due to bit rot, and that's when small, random errors build up over time. Hard drives have these moving parts that can wear out, and flash drives can lose data if left unplugged for years. Just even if the data is still there, software or formats might become obsolete. A lot of people assume that if something is online, it's safe forever, but that's not really true. The cloud just means your files are on someone else's computer, usually owned by a company. If that company decides to delete your file, or your account gets shut down, the content is gone. You might not even get a warning. For example, YouTube channels can be deleted, Dropbox accounts can expire, old forums or websites might go offline completely, and if no one saved a copy somewhere else, that data disappears for good. Oh yeah, and those websites that you bookmarked 5 years ago, yeah, forget about them because they're also gone. And this isn't even rare. It's called link rot, and studies show that large portions of the web disappears every few years. Entire communities vanish when hosting platforms shut down or forums go offline. Sometimes the content isn't deleted, it's just buried so deep behind login walls or broken interfaces that it might as well be gone. Not everything was treated like it mattered. That's one of the biggest reasons media gets lost. In the past, studios often reused tapes to save money. A TV show would air once and then be wiped. News stations archived what seemed important, and this would be national events, not local stories. Kids shows, regional broadcasts, ads, or game demos, most weren't saved at all. Sometimes the creators didn't keep copies. Files were deleted to clear space. And that's just how it was. Or the companies behind them shut down and took everything with them. Licensing issues and copyright disputes can also block something from ever being seen again. The truth is, preservation usually happens after something gains value, but by then it might be too late. If no one thought it was worth saving in the moment, there may be nothing left to recover. Luckily, not everything stays lost. Thanks to archivists and volunteers, pieces of missing media are still being recovered, sometimes years or even decades later. There's no single method for saving media. Some people digitize old tapes, others scrape content from forums, CD, or discontinued websites. Some track down lost files by contacting creators directly, others hunt for obscure uploads on backup hard drives or old devices. Preservation also means organizing. That includes renaming files, adding descriptions, writing dates, and tagging formats. Without this metadata, even a working file can feel meaningless. You might not even know what you're looking at. Websites like the Internet Archive, Lost Media Wiki, or community discords act as central hubs where people share findings and compare notes. These aren't just collections, they're live projects, constantly updated by people who care. So saving this media takes effort, and it's not about downloading everything just in case. It's about knowing what's worth saving and making sure it lasts in a usable way. And the sooner people act, the more we keep. Not all media becomes lost because it was deleted. Some just fades into obscurity. A lot of content isn't technically gone, it still exists somewhere, maybe on an old hard drive, a forgotten DVD, or a server buried in someone's archives. But if no one knows it's there, or even remembers it existed, it might as well be lost, like I've said earlier. This is especially common with local media, school broadcast, cable access shows, public domain short films, or region-locked video games. These were often made for small audiences and never shared widely. Over time, the people who made or owned them move on, and the media disappears from public view. Even now, creators sometimes publish things on niche websites, but if the platform dies or the account gets deleted, the content might vanish quietly without anyone noticing. So, not everything needs to be deleted to be lost. Obscurity can do the exact same thing. If no one's talking about it, linking to it, or sharing it, then it's gone. Sometimes it's not that people don't want to preserve media, it's that the technology itself makes it difficult. So some media is hard to save because of how it's designed. A lot of it is locked behind something called DRM, or Digital Rights Management. That means you can watch or play it, but you can't copy it or back it up easily. The problem is, if the server shuts down or your account gets deleted, you might lose access even if you paid for it. You don't really own the file, you're just renting it in a way. There's also trouble with file formats. Some programs save things in their own unique way, and those files only open with that specific software. If that software stops working, well, you guessed it, the file can become useless. Unless someone figures out a way to open it again, the data stays stuck.
Rap on the track, yeah.